How does the environment affect behavior? Charles Darwin came up with the theory of environmental determinism. He was a very famous scientist in the 19th century. He believed that species develop themselves in the time frame of millions of years according to their environment. During his time on the Beagle, he discovered that a finch on one island would have a different beak than a finch on island number 2. As you can see, the finch on island number 1 has a stronger and bigger beak than the finch on island number 2. He then discovered that the finches on island number 1 would only eat plants and seeds. Island number 2 contained a lot of insects, and the finches on island number 2 would only eat insects. This is the reason why the finches don't need a strong beak. He believed that animals and human beings develop themselves over time according to their environment. This affects behavior of people in different environments.
Generation defines all the people of about the same age within a society or within a practical family. There are many generations and an extraordinary process from our point of view. Eastern countries add more value to religion and traditions in comparison to the Western countries. Value is a fundamental concern and the trunk and the roots of the tree grounded firmly in the earth, which symbolically reminds us of the ultimate biological reason why culture ever came to exist in the first place.
And have the same feelings about religion in general? Do we have the same ideals and standards and tastes?
The generations 50 years ago added more value towards marriage than nowadays, and Eastern and Western citizens were more likely to get married at a young age due to fundamental concerns, religion values, and, for example, family expectations.
With regards to roles in the family, it boils down to gender association, the extent to which people are associated with either masculine or feminine traits. Since gender is a social construct, gender association has become dynamic and varies across cultures. In the Western world, it is hard to define one main trait for all families, considering the diversity that makes up Western societies. One common thing that most Western families share is individualism. A person is given preference over family, therefore is more flexible and free to take decisions on their own. Parents are most likely to play equal roles in working and caring for the home as a way to strive for stable happiness. In the East, it's quite typical for men to be the breadwinner. This is especially popular in the Middle East, where men are providers for the family. They work hard to support the family, while women mostly nurture and care for the home. Elders are usually the leaders of the family, and children regard and obey them in all choices. Important decisions related to children's future are normally taken by elders. For example, arranged marriage is still being practiced in some countries, like India, Israel, and Pakistan. However, this is changing by each generation. Most people now understand the importance of an individualistic way of life and agree to share each responsibilities in building and supporting for the home.
According to roles in the family, you can see that there will be a significant differences between Eastern and Western family. We fervently believe that both Eastern and Western parents expect to be obeyed by the children until they are adult and mature enough to take responsibility of what they do. However, in high context communication like Asian, African, Arab, Central European, and Latin American cultures, the dependence on the family is big and there is a mission for each members in the family to hold the family together and family infighting exists. In the family, loyalty is valued over professional and bureaucratic status. Cultures with Western European roots, such as the United States and Australia, are generally considered to be low context cultures. Because of the core values like individualistic, stick to rules, confront, and reasoning, the family firm of Western cultures tend to have outside directors or close associates of the controlling family. By the way, communications in the family are bureaucratized and the family loyalties are weak.
What is behavior and is important in family? Behavior is a range of action and mannerism made by individuals, systems, which determine culture, and vice versa. Behavior is influenced by both personal and environmental factors. For instance, in history, there are several cases of feral child, and they behave exactly like the animals that raised them. How about family? Western culture tends to place more importance on the individual, each person responsible for their own well-being, and their responsibility only extend to the member of their family, parents, spouses, and children. They have limited responsibility for the others in the society, because the others should have responsibility to taking care of themselves. However, Eastern culture places more importance on the group. They prioritize strong socializing and belonging to a larger group. This group may include classmates, neighbors, extended family, and believe individuals should make the best decision for the overall well-being of their group. If you take care of the group, they will take care of you.
Despite the roots of having Eastern or Western cultures, to us, family means putting your arms around each other and always being there. So, whoever you are and wherever you're from, family is where you can find the truly peace and happiness.